Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever felt like the government is just a big game of hot potato, where they keep tossing around the responsibility for things that don't work? Well, it seems the Trump administration was playing that game with the U.S. Agency for International Development, or USAID. But they just got a big fat nope from a federal judge. A judge in Maryland said, hey, you can't just shut down an agency like it's a lemonade stand. And you thought getting you's kid's lemonade stand shut down was a nightmare. This is the government we're talking about here, folks. They're supposed to be the grown-ups. Now, the Trump administration tried to close down USAID, but a judge named Theodore Chiwong said, hold up, that's not cool. He said it likely violated the Constitution in multiple ways. I mean, how many ways can you mess up the Constitution? It's like trying to break a rule in a game that only has one rule. And it's the rule that says, don't be a jerk. Chiwong said these actions not only harm the plaintiffs, but also the public interest. Because who likes it when their elected representatives in Congress can't do their job? That's like taking away the remote from the person who's watching TV. You know, the one who's actually watching TV. The rest of us are just sitting there wondering why we can't change the channel. And now, DOGE, which is apparently the new name for the Department of the government's efforts, is now prohibited from any further cuts to USAID. I mean, they can't even cut a slice of cake anymore without getting in trouble, and the judge ordered immediate restoration of email and computer access to all USAID employees. I mean, they couldn't even check their email. It's like working in the Stone Age, but with a lot more bureaucracy. Now, this decision comes after another federal judge said the Trump administration likely violated the separation of powers doctrine by unlawfully impounding nearly $2 billion in funds. Impounding. Is that like when you put your lunch money in your pocket and forget about it? Because that's what the government does with our tax dollars. They forget about it, or maybe they just decide not to spend it. I mean, the executive branch is like a kid who says, I don't want to eat my vegetables, and the vegetables are our tax dollars. And let's not forget, USAID became an early target of the Trump administration. The president has been a longtime critic of overseas spending, arguing it doesn't benefit the American taxpayer. I mean, who cares about the rest of the world? Let's just focus on ourselves, right? It's like saying, we don't need to help anyone else because we're the best, and everyone else is just a charity case. And if you think that's bad, there are Republicans who say USAID is wasteful and promotes liberal agendas. And Democrats say it saves lives abroad and helps U.S. interests. It's like arguing over whether the glass is half full or half empty, but with actual lives on the line. And here's the kicker. Several examples of questionable spending have been uncovered at USAID. More than $900,000 to a Gaza-based charity and a $1.5 million program to advance diversity, equity, and inclusion in Serbia's workplaces. I mean, it's like they're trying to turn the whole world into a diversity training seminar. But you know what? At least they're trying to make the world a better place, even if it is a little bit misguided. And that, my friends, is the end of the USAID comedy show. Thanks for tuning in. And remember, when it comes to government spending, it's always a comedy of errors. Good night!